G'day guys, Aaron, CEO of P360 here. Many of you getting ready for the new year want to take on a new exercise routine or regime, and swimming tends to be one of those things that we all love doing. Helps you lose weight, great cardiovascular exercise, and really good at low impact on the body. However, we do get some shoulder issues with the good old swimming. About 70% of people who swim regularly can develop some shoulder problems. So we want to have a look at some of the things that you can do to make sure we keep you swimming in the pool this year and to make sure you achieve your goals. Firstly, one of the big things is if you don't use your shoulders or your whole body appropriately, we increase what they call form drag. Form drag is where you don't stay nice and horizontal in the water as you're swimming through. Now, a couple of things that cause you to sag at the hips or not get appropriate form drag is lack of hip strength. The hips contribute about 20% of your propulsion force into your during your freestyle swim stroke. So if you don't quite get that right, what we end up doing is we overload the shoulders and we end up with a bit of a sag in our body, which means the shoulders have to work harder, and then they're not, because the hips aren't doing their work, the shoulders naturally have to work harder as well. On top of that, if we don't have enough upper back mobility, ability to extend backwards or rotate around to the side, it means our shoulders have to work harder because they're working from wider positions. 3, we just want to make sure we get the shoulders nice and strong and make sure they've got the ability to get up nice and high and be able to pull you through the water in from there. So here we go. To keep you floating well and swimming well through the water this year, let's go through some tips. Thank you. G'day guys, here to go through a couple of exercises to help you improve your upper back mobility. Really important in the swimming population, but also anyone who has to do any throwing, even runners who get a bit of a slouch sort of forward posture. It would be really good if you've got some upper back mobility. So if you're having any issues through the top part of the back here, these are the sort of exercises that you should benefit from, but really designed specifically for the swimmers out there. So the first one we're going to look at is what we call the bow and arrow exercise, and it's designed to improve the way you rotate through your upper back. So I'll just get Adam to lay on his right hand side here for us. Up onto the bed, good, get yourself nice and supported, arms out, stretched. We want to get the knees up nice and high. Key is we don't want to be rotating through the lower back, we want to maximise our rotation through the upper back into here. So when we first do those, sometimes it's really good to have a little bit of a block or someone in here behind you, stopping your pelvis from moving or your lower back, but the real important thing is when you do these by yourself, keep the hip and that point of the shoulder in a nice straight line in from there. What we do is we use Adam here to drop his left arm, so drive through into there like that, and just trying to rotate as much as you can, trying to get that shoulder down, and again, not letting that hip move into there, and should feel a bit of a stretch through there. Sometimes the first time you can do these, you can cramp a little bit. That's quite normal, just ease into it as you go from there. When you start to get a little bit better, you can use a band, and you can actually add a bit of resistance to it and help to strengthen the muscles that rotate you through there. So we'll just get you to hold onto the band there, hold it in the lower hand, and just pulling through against that resistance and getting that to there. Making sure the top of the shoulders here stay nice and relaxed and you're driving through the middle of the shoulder blade into there. Cool. One of the other exercises we like very much, especially for the swimmers here, is what we call like a prone thoracic extension exercise. So what we'll do, Adam, is we'll get your head up the other end here for us. I'll get rid of the pillow. And what we want you to do is basically have your chin right on the end of the bed there and sort of looking forward there if you can. So looking up, head up, and keep your chin relaxed. So just drop back a centimetre or two for me. That's it. Now what we want to do is extend the arms out, interlock the thumbs. That's it. Now we're trying to lift through the top of the shoulders here and get the arms up as high as possible. Now we can see Adam needs a little bit of work here. But holding up through there, again we're trying to keep the lower back nice and relaxed. We're trying to lift up as high as we can and improve that thoracic mobility. Really important to keep our chin on the bed and keeping ourselves looking forward so we're not cheating anywhere, okay? And you'll see this is actually quite hard work. Excellent, thank you. Guys, here to give you an exercise specifically to strengthen the top of the shoulders. Really, again, good for swimmers. We find some of our cricket wrist spinners and even some of the finger spinners will benefit from this sort of strengthening exercise as well. So we start here laying on our stomach. Got a relatively light weight, but really do start nice and easy if you haven't done this sort of stuff before or if you've had any other shoulder issues. Here we've got a 2 kilo weight. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring our arm up nice and high into here. We're going to roll it all the way in. This is called the prone empty can, as though you're emptying a can into that position. We want to keep the elbow nice and locked out straight, and basically from there we're going to lift straight up, keeping our arm as close to the ear as possible, and then back down. We want to minimise the movement through the lower back and really get the shoulder blade holding up into there. You should feel that work through the back of the shoulder here. Excellent, thank you. G'day guys, here to demonstrate an exercise really good for the swimmers. What we often see is a lack of communication between the backside muscles and then into our opposite shoulder muscle. So we want to get that coordination happening without getting too much rotation through the spine. And this will really impact on the way you swim, because if you get too much rotation through the middle of the spine here, you increase your drag force and slows down your swim and makes your shoulders work really hard. So getting the hip muscles or your glute muscles here to do a lot of the work is really important. So what we'll do is we're starting off in a nice lying on our stomach position here. We're going to get the left arm and the right glute to talk to each other. So what we basically do, we'll get the left arm to stretch out. What we want to do is squeeze the right backside muscle here and lift the right backside and left arm up together, and we want to minimise that movement through this area and back down. So I'll just do a couple of these. That's it, and that's where you require a good amount of core strength so that these muscles can talk to each other. When you get a little bit better, you can add some resistance weight or some ankle weights to improve that, but really do make sure you're focusing on this and the back of the shoulder into there. Cheers, thank you.